A very warm welcome to all investors present here in today's webinar. We have with us our CEO and founder Dr. Mojo Batra and Chief Investment Officer Mr. Sunil Damania in today's exclusive event. Without giving away much, I would like to hand it over to our Chief Investment Officer Mr. Sunil Damania for the big reveal upcoming today.
Thanks a lot, Jason, and very warm welcome all of you. So before we begin this webinar, you can see the background and you can see color of my t-shirt, Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, and I think Har Ghar Tiranga. I think that's the theme that's being played out, and in city of Bombay, the local municipal body is distributing Tiranga to each and every house. I think we are all celebrating our Independence. In fact, today in our office we had a traditional day, but you don't see me in traditional. This is my tradition, so that's what I'm wearing this. We celebrate a traditional day today, and it's a complete festive mood. And if it is a festive mood, it's a right time for us to launch a very powerful feature for the benefit of our investors. In fact, the privilege that will be taken by Mohit to display what the new feature we are going to launch today, and it's a game changer for many of you. But before I hand it over to Mohit, let me just briefly tell you what's happening on the market front. And I was asking myself, what has happened in the last 30 years? In India, if you look at the real reforms in India started in 1991. Until such time, India was a completely protected economy. We were not talking to the world in terms of import and exports. And in the last 30 years, the kind of reforms that we have done, and I was looking at some data which says that India's market cap in last 30 years has gone up by, in dollar terms, almost by 50x in dollar terms. Now, have we done good? Have we done enough? The answer is no, because there was always, you always look at whether the glass is half empty or glass is half full. And I think what has happened that despite we did reforms, I think we also had a period of complete policy paralysis. Like what we could have done, we have not done. So we did not get the benefit of the reform that we should have got it. But what is happening globally now, and if you look at the complete deconstruct the situation globally, the US enjoyed a very good ride because of cheap labor and cheap goods coming from the China. US enjoyed the cheap fuel coming in from the Russia and the Ukraine. US enjoyed the cheap labor, especially IT, from India. But now when you look at the things, and they had a very growing, they don't have a demographic dividend. Now, when I look at 30 years, and if I have to look at what could be the scenario 30 years down the line, and I don't know whether I'll be alive by that time or not, but if I have to go and do the crystal ball gazing, I get a sense, if India market cap has grown by 50x in last 30 years in dollar terms, we could be 150x in next 30 years. And why am I saying so? I'm not saying just because being in India I should be proud and hence I should make a very tall claim, but that structurally things are happening very differently in the world. And if you remember Mohit in his last webinar when Mohit and I were there, and Mohit did mention about the power is shifting towards Asian region. And that's where India is going to play a very significant role. In fact, India was maybe 15th or 16th, the largest economy in the world. Today we are the 6th, and maybe very soon we will be the 5th. And in next 30 years, I would not be surprised if India is either number 1 or number 2. I'm making a prediction, either number 1 or number 2, while others will struggle, but India would grow. And why is that so? Right demographic dividend, the strong entrepreneurial skill today, the complete ecosystem you look at in terms of startup, the job seeker is now job giver. Am I right? So just to give you an example, classical example at Markets Mojo, both Mohit and Joyson, they were an employee. And they basically graduated from the employee to the employer. The person who was job seeker is giving job to the employee. And today we have a team of about 50 people and they are giving job. So I think then that's the complete mindset is changing. If today you speak to the youngster, they want to start on their own. They are not much bothered about kahan naukri karenge, kya karna hai. They have a dream, they have a this. And that I think is a big game changer. Digital revolution. 5G which we're going to roll out in next couple of months in India. The cheapest data available in the country, in the world, sorry, and people have been lapping up, okay? So digital, the demographic dividend, the entrepreneurial skill, lot of resilience shown by the India Inc., okay? And India's image in the global world has been improving significantly. So these are multiple factors that's going to make India, and in fact India is one of the very few countries in the world as we speak is sufficient in the food grade production. And the biggest challenge that world is going to face in next 20-30 years is going to be the deficit, the shortages of the food grain. And what the OPEC countries enjoyed due to the shortage of crude oil, I think India could be beneficiary of the shortage of food grade production in the world, because the most of the food grade production that happens in India is self-sufficient. In fact, India is in a position to export food grain. So I think that makes India a very strong, it's going to make India a very strong economy. So, and if that is so, how can you participate in the India growth story? And one of the easiest way to participate in India's growth story is through an investor. If you are not entrepreneur, you give your capital to the entrepreneur who can multiply your wealth many years. What Dhirubhai Ambani did, what Narayan Murthy did. There are two classical examples which did not come from any reputed family. They established and they completely changed the equity cult in this country. So that's what's going to happen, and that we will see many more Dhirubhai Ambani, many more Narayan Murthy coming in, and they are going to change the India's image and India's complete landscape. In fact, if you look at today's Apple market cap, it's near about 2.7 trillion US dollar. What is India's total market cap? India's total market cap is less than Apple market cap. Am I right? That equation has to change. And that's what I strongly believe is going to change. So once again, good wishes to everyone on the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And I think I'll hand it over to Mohit. Mohit has a very exciting announcement to make. So over to you, Mohit.
Well, thanks a lot. A very good evening to all of you, and wish you all a very happy Independence Day on behalf of proud Indians, two proud Indians. This is our Jan Bhumi, this is our Karm Bhumi, and anything that we have been able to create is right from bottoms up over the last 7.5 years, almost now touching in the next couple of months. It may not be our 75th anniversary, but it is definitely our 7.5 years anniversary. So we are, hinting on that mark. But let me just, before I reveal what I'm about to speak today, let me just give you some important lessons that we've learned in the last 7.5 years. Purpose of starting Markets Mojo was not just to fill in a void of being the best research provider, being the best portfolio advisor in the country. It was much bigger than that. We had, when we started Markets Mojo, frankly, we had no avenue of earning money. We had a lot of private equity funds who came to us and they offered us funding, and we were very tempted to even go that route, but we struggled in the first 2-3 years because obviously there was no revenue model, and we said that we are doing this primarily because we want to go towards the aim and break this whole myth that if India is the shining star and has been the shining star, if India generates on the listed equity markets 11% kind of a CAGR, why is it that the investors do not generate that proportion of wealth? Why is it that we are still parking our money in instruments that don't even beat inflation? So our theme was very simple right from day one, that we don't know whether we're going to make money or not, but we will make sure that all the investor is very well equipped with the best research that is available or not even available to large institutions. So that was a very tall ask, but we had a very honest approach towards doing things, towards making sure that we are right in front of our customers. We do not till today divulge the reason why we are being successful, primarily because we ourselves don't know. The reason that we keep growing is because of the utter confidence and faith that all of you have in us. It is primarily because what we do on our part is irrespective of what our product is, irrespective of what our service is, we will always guide you to a single aim of your wealth creation, whether it is with us or with anybody else in the market. Our job is not to keep attaining more and more customers and keep growing our business, which obviously is the economic cause of any business. But more than that, honesty in terms of how we create a business and how we share our initiatives with you is something that is more important to us. Many a times whenever I have come and shared a lot of initiatives, some of you have felt, and some of you may be working with our competition as investors, have always felt that why is that Markets Mojo comes out and says this is what we're going to do. Because to me there is no organization that today believes that their customers are actually stakeholders apart from writing it on the walls. We do not believe in writing it on the walls. We believe in living that karma across and telling our customers well in advance what we are planning to do, because whether you buy stake in Markets Mojo or not, we personally believe that you are our esteemed stakeholders, you are our shareholders, because every rupee that we make comes from you. Everything that we do, all our efforts that we do is towards our investors, and hence in a way they are already our stakeholders. And obviously when Markets Mojo, hopefully one fine day when it will go public, the benefit will accrue to all the Mojo professional investors. In our endeavor to be open and transparent, today I would like to tell you what the next 1 year would be, because we are taking a very, very big leap forward. We have crossed our 7-year marker. We were sitting quiet for 7 years because we were on a very risky terrain. You know, frankly, we were trying to do something that nobody in the world has achieved. There are a lot of people who come and say that who's your benchmark, who does things that you do, and I don't have a single example to give you, whether in India or whether across the world, because nobody does what we are doing across the 100% set of companies, recommendation across 100 set of companies, model portfolio which can span across largest of the mega cap to the smallest of the micro cap. There is nobody who does that. So I have never been able to frankly put a dot onto whether there is anybody else who's doing this, and hence it was a very risky business to get in as an entrepreneur, I'm telling you. And it was only a thorough drive of every day getting up in the morning to say that we are doing the right thing, which has moved us forward, and a lot of support and a lot of trust and confidence from you investors that has taken this forward. With that, let me just introduce you a next 1 year plan in terms of what we're going to do. And I'll tell you towards the end of the presentation, we will give you a big benefit. So please stay towards the end. Also, it is always good to know who your money manager is. It is always good to know who you are working with. Today I was doing a very senior level hire, and he asked me a lot of things about technical questions on the site and what we do and what our plans are. And finally I told him in one line that if you have trust in me, if you have trust in my management, if you have trust in the founding team, businesses will keep getting created. Because it is not about the intellect, which we don't lack. It is about the intent. If the intent is right of businesses, businesses will get created, and not just get created, but they would last a long time. So with that approach, let me tell you what is next. Now, as you know, slowly we have been revealing certain things to you. What we have done at a business level is that we have separated two separate companies. One is Markets Mojo, the other, which we have already set up, is Infinity Asset Advisors. Now, Markets Mojo is the stock advisory platform, which is a do-it-yourself platform, where investors who want to do their own research, they want to take their own calls, they want to go with our score, they want to look at our screeners, they want to look at various things that they want to do on their own. That becomes the Markets Mojo platform. And Mojo Infinity is the asset advisory business, which is we will do it for you. And this is not limited to just model portfolios, but a lot of other things are coming in this particular platform. But primarily, there are two companies under which Markets Mojo operates. One is Markets Mojo per se, and the second company that we've recently set up is Infinity Asset Advisors, which has the asset advisory mandate, which will help you do things rather than you doing it yourself. Now, what does Markets Mojo have? If you remember, towards a month back, we had taken out model portfolios and optimizer from the Mojo Professional pack. We said these two products are not do-it-yourself products. These two products run on our asset advisory, and hence we will park it in the Mojo Infinity website. Now, the reason I'm explaining you all of this, so that if you understand the nuts and bolts of the business, you will understand what we are planning to do and how it can affect your life on the longer period of time. Because a lot of you are 10-year plus members with us. It is only fair for us to tell you what we are planning to do, so that you have a very clear insight what is going to happen in the next 1 year. So Mojo Professional is everything today, which is stock score, which is Mojo stocks, which is stock of the month, which is screener, which is portfolio tracker, which is verdict report, which is switcher, which is trading 80, which is mutual fund scheme rating, but it does not have model portfolio and it does not have optimizer. In the Mojo Infinity platform, the Infinity portfolios are there, and from next week we are adding the model portfolios and the portfolio optimizer under the Mojo Infinity flag. Don't get confused. I'm going to clear this out as I move forward. Just be with me, and I'm going to clear this out. Today on the site, the price of Markets Mojo Professional package has gone to 23,999 for 2 years, which does not have the model portfolio and the optimizer product, and all portfolios starting next week. I repeat, all portfolios starting next week will be charged at 2% on the Mojo Infinity platform. Mojo Infinity Soul and Power, you are anyways paying 2%, which is 1% and 1% after 6 months. Model portfolios also will start being priced at 2%. Model portfolios will start lower at 5 lakh plus ticket size, but they will be charged at 2%, not for the Mojo Professional users. Please understand, I am not shaking the boat here. I am giving you good news rather than bad news. We are obviously, if you have taken a Mojo Professional membership for the next 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you don't have to pay any 2% on model portfolio. This would be applicable for new investors only. Your model portfolio journey will continue as it has been continuing. So please do not get worried on this particular slide. Now, existing Mojo Professional members will keep getting everything free, which is model portfolios and optimizer free, obviously only till their subscription expires. Once the Mojo Professional subscription expires, the 2% will get valid. Will you be able to get the model portfolio and optimizer in the Mojo Professional pack? The answer is from next week, absolutely no. We are removing that completely. We have in between given around a month and a half back, given you guys a facility to take the model portfolios also in 19,999. But obviously what we are doing a big launch next week is we will show you how the whole model portfolio product will move under Mojo Infinity bandwagon. Now, what is the leap? Why are we doing this? You need to understand why are we doing this. Because from a research firm, what are we trying to evolve? A lot of people, if you look around in the industry, have evolved transactions and they don't care about what the recommendations are, what the call success rates are, what the returns are. We have taken a completely opposite route. We have worked relentlessly over the last 7 years to build our IP, and then at a certain point in time when the IP works and we feel that now we are comfortable going ahead and engaging into transaction, we would. So what is this big leap that we are talking about? MarketsMojo.com will have a broking license over the next 12 months, and MojoInfinity.com will have a PMS license, and hopefully at a certain point in time an AMC license, which is not imminent in the next 1 year, but it would happen maybe in the next 2 years. So we will have a vertical which will be broking, which will be run under the Mojo Professional Markets Mojo platform, and the Mojo Infinity will become a PMS house or a AMC and a wealth management house. When I say wealth management, we would get debt instruments out there, we may get will, estate planning out there, we may even at a certain point in time get insurance planning for our clients in place under Mojo Infinity. Both the services are expected to launch in the next 12 months, and I'm taking a larger period of 12 months because this is subject to regulatory approvals, and hence we would not be able to give you a firm timeline of 6 months, 7 months. But I can tell you that in the next 1 year, which is 12 months, we should be able to launch both these different services. Now, what is the benefit to Mojo Professional users? Let's look at the benefit of Mojo Professional users and then we'll come to the Mojo Infinity side. When we launch broking, you guys can take a picture of this if you guys want to, because this will define a lot of your long-term association with us. Our rates I am giving upfront to Mojo Professional users today. The cash would be at 0, delivery would be at 0, F&O would be at 0, model portfolio will be at 0. Across all broking products, once a Mojo Professional is an engaged Mojo Professional user with us, our rates will be an absolute 0. Discount brokers haven't reached here, nobody can reach here because this is a business killing proposition. And this is a business killing proposition. Why? Because we have decided on the transactional platform we do not want to make any money. We are giving this as we made the best car, the tires have to be given. There's a lot of pain that you guys go through in updating your portfolios. There's a lot of pain you go through in updating your personal portfolios, going to different sites, noting it down on a notepad, or maybe using a small case interface, coming back and updating, and over a period of time, trust me, even I can't. So our broking initiative is more for our Mojo Professional users to ease out, and during that ease out process, obviously we do not want to charge anything. So this is our word to all the Mojo Professional users that whatever broking transactions that you would do with Markets Mojo, apart from regulatory charges obviously, whatever broking business that you do would be at an absolute 0. There is no 10 rupees, there is no hidden cost here, there is no 20 rupees per trade, there is no prices here or there hidden. It would be an absolute 0. That is what we are trying to achieve with the Mojo Professional users. One of the things that you need to know is that the tenure of this is only till your membership exists. After your membership expires, obviously when you become a new member, the rates will be as per the market rates of the broking initiative. It is a facility for only paid Mojo Professional users. What is the Infinity benefit? Now, if you look at the Infinity benefit, power and soul are typically at 1% charged 6 monthly. If your portfolio is higher than the last time we charged you fees, it's a absolutely lowest possible bottom price structure that is there in the industry. We would want to offer the same structure to our Infinity members once we have the PMS license. We may have a different scheme for new members who come in, where the pricing obviously will be not this competitive, it will be much higher. But for our existing Infinity users, we would continue lifelong. The right-hand side, which you see on the PPT, is lifelong. We would offer the same rate to our Mojo Infinity Power and Soul users. Model portfolio next week onwards, we are launching at 2%. Which means that this is a 2% and we will not be putting any 6-monthly barrier out there. It will be a flat 2%. We cannot run a business, frankly, by putting everything on a 6-month watermark that we have to always be higher the next 6 months. So model portfolio will not be at a same pricing as Power and Soul, that is HNI pricing. The model portfolio will be at a 2% marker, which will be charged free. So for example, if you have a 10 lakh model portfolio, ideally you would be paying us 20,000 rupees a year for us to manage a 10 lakh portfolio. Likewise, if you have a 20 lakh portfolio, it will be 40,000 rupees a year. That is how the model portfolio pricing will work. Obviously, when the new investors come in after the PMS license is achieved and we launch that particular business, as I said, the pricing will remain the same for our Infinity users. The pricing may differ completely. Upside may be much higher for us, for new investors coming in post the PMS license. What are we trying to reward here? What are we trying to reward here, and what are we trying to stick our neck out today? Is that the big thing out here that we are trying to do is that people who've supported us, investors and members who've supported us in our journey for the last 3 years, 4 years, 7 years, we will keep passing on the same benefit whatever we become. Whether we become big, whether we become medium size, whether we remain small size, but our benefit and our gratitude towards our Mojo professional users will remain the same. Whatever the inflation may be, whatever may be anything else, we've always given Mojo professional users an option to upgrade for 10 years, 20 years, and you can imagine that no business for 5 years, 10 years maintains the same price. Inflation is increasing, cost of people hiring is increasing, but we have given you the facility to renew membership for 5 years, 10 years, and you have given tremendous support to us to make sure that that happens, and that is the big catch here. The big catch is that the model portfolio, where we have a huge asset base on Markets Mojo, it's a huge asset base, will be going at 2% after your paid membership expires. I repeat, model portfolio will be going at 2% after your paid membership expires, and you typically lose the ₹0 benefit on the broking platform that we'd launch if your membership expires, because obviously the new members who come, or if you're no longer a member of Markets Mojo Professional, or if you've taken a 5-year membership and then after 5 years the price is 30,000 rupees a year for Mojo Professional membership, then obviously you don't want to become a member, but then the broking charges apply as per the normal market standard. So these are the two things that you need to keep in mind. Both the two things has an underlining which says after your membership expires. So nothing happens to you till the membership is there, but after it expires, the membership expires, your model portfolio gets a paid 2%, and obviously the benefit that will come on any other initiative which increases your cost will obviously increase. The trick here, as I said, look at the underline. What is the trick here? The trick here is long-term members will not pay anything. Long-term members of Mojo Professional will not pay anything for model portfolios as well as broking whenever it launches. That the definition and the trick to catch, and the one word to catch out here, is the long-term benefit of members who have committed to us for 5 years, 10 years. Some members have committed to us for 30 years, 40 years. For them, we would be at the same intensity of service without charging them a single extra rupee on either model portfolios or either on any kind of a transaction that we enable, whether it is a transaction on broking or even on mutual funds. Whenever we enable, obviously we will not be charging anything to our members. Now, but you guys know that a couple of months back, almost a month and a half back, we pulled out, because we were doing this whole big launch, we pulled out the model portfolio and the optimizer from the Mojo Professional product. A lot of you said that you guys want it back, but we pulled it out and we said that clearly we are setting up two companies. So the model portfolio will move into the whole gamut of Infinity Asset Advisors, and model portfolio was pulled out of the Mojo Professional service, and it is also out as we are talking right now. Next week is the big launch when the model portfolio will get launched at 2% for non-Mojo Professional members and members where the professional membership has expired or is about to expire or will expire, and I'm going to give you a glimpse of that as well. So that you know what we are launching next week, and we'll have a very detailed launch paper. We'll have a presentation, we'll have a webinar, we'll also send you a mail in terms of how we are growing that particular business. Now, we've always come and been honest with you in terms of when we are doing a radical change, and I'm not talking about the offers out here. Offers we've done, we've repeated certain offers, we've kept it for long, you guys have craved, these guys are going after offers. But this is not an offer that I'm trying to tell you out here, that this is for the last time in the 7.5 history of Markets Mojo. This is a benefit that we are giving to the existing Mojo Professional users only, because we personally feel that they are, once we do these mega changes, we do not want to be held responsible that you didn't inform us in advance, or you took this model portfolio out and the optimizer out from the Mojo Professional service. You did not give us a chance. We do not want to end up on that dialogue with our Mojo Professional users. And hence, for the very last time in the history of Markets Mojo, I am glad and I am very proud to offer you a last chance. We are putting our best foot forward here. We are at 19,999, giving a 6 months extra today. A 6 months extra today on a price of 19,999, and I'm glad to tell you that we are giving the model portfolio and optimizer also for the next few days to make sure that you are extended as much as possible so that you do not come into the gamut of that 2%. This is 19,999 with 6 months extra. This is 19,999 with 6 months extra, which includes Mojo Professional plus model portfolios and plus optimizer. We are calling this as the big Azadi offer, but this Azadi offer is very different when you go on the site. This is not an Independence Day offer that we have put on the site. This offer, mind it, please read the last 2 lines. This offer is not available on the site. It is only limited for webinar attending Markets Mojo users. If you have attended a webinar, you will see this banner on the site. If you've not attended the webinar, obviously you are not going to see. Jason is going to put up the link out here, but this is something which is only applicable for the Markets Mojo users. I am begging you that once we make this mega change of removing the model portfolio and launching into a separate service, please do not come to me that we want the model portfolio back, because as a business, we will not be able to do that, and that is not a profitable and viable option for us, especially when we are trying to build up over a 1 lakh crore AUM in the next 5 to 7 years. That is not something that we will be able to do, and hence this was our best foot forward one last time, and this last time will not get repeated in the history of Markets Mojo. Also, one point for all of you is that unlimited extensions are still allowed, which means that you can buy this 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, keep adding this on, and hence take a 10-year, 15-year pack, so that you have initiatives like broking whenever it comes, initiative like model portfolio, it goes paid, which is happening next week, all of this is something that you've hedged against. You can still extend it on a longer duration period. How this business, and a glimpse of 2 pages that I'm going to show you, and how this business is going to evolve from next week onwards. If you look at what you see out here, which is Mojo Infinity, you will see that with Soul and Power, now the 3 portfolios have come here, which is the model portfolio aggressive, moderate and conservative. These 3 portfolios will start for the new investors now, which will be priced at 2%. The minimum AUM out here we are keeping at 5 lakhs, and obviously this is no 5 portfolios free and all that. There's nothing free out here. This is going to go in coming early next week. The whole model portfolio product will be out, apart from the Mojo professional members who are existingly out there. If you look at the other big initiative that we are launching, and I'm sure you guys will be very happy seeing this, is a 1-page view. This is a very, very big launch that we're doing with the Mojo Infinity, all your portfolios together. So if you see this particular user, this is a total net worth invested, total gains and losses, total gains and losses out here, today's gain. And if you see portfolio 1 view, as we are calling this, Mojo Infinity, if the person has an Infinity portfolio, all your model portfolios stacked out here, and all your personal portfolios also stacked out here, which is personal 1, personal 2, all the 3 products, which is Infinity, which is model portfolios, and also personal portfolios, will be all looked upon together out here as a 1 view. If you come down, you will be able to get the tracker for all your portfolios now. So this is a tracker for example, here, model portfolio aggressive. There is a button that will come here. You can choose any portfolio, including Infinity and model portfolio, and you can get the same tracker analysis that you get on the current Markets Mojo site. And we've consolidated all of this together on the Infinity platform, including the cash that you have remaining, including the total value. So all of that will come here. And obviously, what we are launching along with this is the 1-button migration, where you can migrate your portfolio from one portfolio to the other, which is the big science, or the very big IP change that we've cracked over the last 6 months. You will be able to upgrade to Infinity. You would be able to part upgrade your model portfolio, add some cash. You will be able to, from your personal portfolios, remove some bad stocks and add extra cash if you want to upgrade to Infinity. So these 2 launches of model portfolio at 2% and your launch of the 1 view with the migration is going to happen next week. As soon as that migration is announced, the model portfolio will be taken out from the Mojo Professional membership for the new investors, and it will become a paid product under Infinity, and hence this particular offer will that day get over, which is 19,999 with 6 months extra free with Mojo Professional and model portfolios. My urge to you, as I told you right in the beginning, you sometimes listen, wo kehta bhi diwana, sunta bhi diwana, sometimes you listen and you don't do anything, but this time don't take it lightly, because this change, once it is implemented, will be on a completely different track and will not be able to go back to that. So this is the last of the history of Markets Mojo in terms of giving model portfolio as a part of the Mojo Professional initiative. With that note, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your excellent support that you've given us. This is a company that is built by our investors. This is a company where we put in the effort, and we love to see your money grow. And our efforts are endless, and trust me, our efforts are relentless to make sure that we see you grow. And I would like to take up as many questions as possible today to see if there is any understanding required or anything that you have that we can address at this point in time. Jason, let's open this up.
Yeah, I'll take this first question by Mr. Advaith. Mohit, the broking feature you have mentioned can disrupt the fintech broking space. How would you plan to do this?
See, for me, I have and I'm really sorry to say this, I have zero respect for brokers. I am not somebody who minces words. I have zero respect for the broking entities because I personally feel that the whole discount broking model where the reward to the broker is how many times you trade. It is purely on the side of the broker making money and not the investors making money. I still have a lot of respect for full service brokerage houses who do a lot of research, who at least give a call, who give a support. But for discount brokers, I have zero respect. And where I have zero respect, I am going to go and disrupt that market because I have already got research platform on me. And as I told you, broking initiative is not, it is a social responsibility that we are taking up, not as a business responsibility. We will not want to make money from there for our investors, and we will take that market down to zero. I am saying this on an open forum which will go on YouTube or anywhere else. But, and I know a lot of people might take that to zero because of that before only. But if they don't, I will definitely make sure that it gets down to zero because it is no value addition. And me and Sunil keep talking about, and I personally feel that Sunil and me have at least one point of commonality, that we personally feel that the exchange at a certain point in time will become the broker. And all this business will get wiped out. I personally feel that the exchange will say, you guys are not giving research, so do we. We also don't give research. You guys just give a platform to transact, right? So we'll also give a platform to transact. And I think that thing has already happened on the mutual fund side, where people, BSE and NSE have created a mutual fund transaction platform, which a lot of distributors take. But I think there is no value addition of discount brokers apart from it has become an NBFC business. It's a funding business. It's not an advisory business. It's not about client making money business. It's about their own, per trade business. And I think it's ready for disruption. If I don't do it, somebody else do it. And if I'm very glad if they listen to me on this platform, because maybe they'll, get some sense and do it themselves.
I think one thing which has already started happening, and I think SEBI is looking on it, that the way we have an ASBA for the primary market, SEBI is contemplating to have an even ASBA for the secondary market. So where you don't have to transfer a single rupee to your broker, the money will get debited from your bank account to the exchanges, and if you have sold the shares, the money will come to your bank account. So the broker role in terms of managing your money will come down to zero. So I think it's work in progress, and we strongly believe that there is no reason why exchange should not become a platform for people to transact, because otherwise what is broker is doing nothing actually in terms of because everything is happening through your app. Am I right? So why can't the exchange create an app and where you basically they meet a buy and sell it? Because ultimately it's like, if you remember, simplest way to make you understand, if you listen to some of these FMCG companies and FMEG companies, that is consumer durable company, they've started removing distributor from the chain of distribution, the value addition chain. So manufacturers said, okay, I'll directly supply to the retailer kind of stuff. Something similar here, where the broker has become an agent, and previously we used to have sub-broker and so on and so forth. The sub-broker line has gone. Maybe it's a time, maybe next 5 years, where the broker will also go, and you directly basically you become a customer of the exchange and not a customer of a broker, who in turn will use the platform to trade this. So I think that's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, and technology can make many things possible which looks impossible couple of years back.
Okay, I'll pick this question by Mr. M. Putamkar. Is there any migration path from Mojo Professional to Infinity in the future? If I become a long-term Mojo Professional by extending subscription using this offer, what will happen to the Mojo Professional subscription if I switch to Infinity? Please explain the migration path.
So Infinity and Mojo Professional are two very different services. If you are a Mojo Professional user next week on, if you already are a Mojo Professional user and you're extending it to become a long-term Mojo Professional user, what you will be able to do is you will be able to migrate seamlessly your model portfolios into the Infinity portfolios. Will we give a good rate for doing that? The answer is obviously yes. We would obviously treat you as different because you are a Mojo Professional user and you are upgrading to Infinity. Had we done that for Mojo Professional Infinity users when we launched Infinity, if you remember, we had given them a full rebate, 100% rebate on their Mojo Professional fees. So for example, if you paid 9,000 rupees fees, if you remember when we launched Infinity Soul, if you had paid 9,000 rupees fees, we actually deducted the full 9,000 from your Mojo from your Infinity fees. So we had given a 100% benefit of what you pay on Mojo Professional if you became an Infinity user. So wait for next week. You'll be surprised. We will give you, a big advantage for becoming, if you're a Mojo Professional user, to becoming a Infinity user.
Okay, also before I move on to this next question, a lot of investors, even Mr. Gadena Venkat has written, congrats for Tata Elxsi as Mojo stock on this auspicious day. It was close to recommended at around 1,000 in 2020. Today it has marched up to 10,000. What a move towards wealth creation.
Thanks a lot. I think when we were getting out of many IT companies, we did not move out of Tata Elxsi. And a lot of you people did ask us if everything is going wrong with the IT sector, why are you so bullish about Tata Elxsi? And we said that our IP continue to make us believe that Tata Elxsi will be an exception and it should do well. And it has done extremely well. Tata Elxsi is one stock which has come as a Mojo stock a couple of times. And every time it came, it created a lot of wealth for the investors. Thanks a lot for this compliment.
Okay, yeah, I'll move on to this next particular question. Yeah, this is actually by Mr. Sarang, and apart from Mr. Sarang, a lot of investors are asking this, that Mr. Sarang said, I'm already a Mojo Professional user till 2025. Does it make sense to extend further, until which year I should?
So I think it depends on your capacity to buy, because I don't think so we are going anywhere. So 2025 is hardly 2-3 years away. So I personally feel that the big advantage will come if you are at least, and I'm saying a minimum, if you are at least a 7 to 10 year member with Markets Mojo. And if you've seen any of my presentations, wealth creation journey is something that doesn't end at the age of 60. It doesn't actually, it may, the biggest of the wealth creation journeys come after 50, 55. So if I was of that view, I would typically say that go as long as you permit out there, and we'll not disappoint you. So and 2 years, 3 years is too short a period to look at that. I would, if I were you, I would at least have a 10-year membership with Mojo Professional.
Okay, moving to this next question. Yeah, this is by Mr. Rajat, and a few investors have actually asked this, Mr. Sunil. What's your current view on metal stocks, specifically on Vedanta?
So, its view is very simple. I know that the copper prices have gone 6 weeks high. There has been some rebound that is happening in some of the metal companies, purely because one is that there could be a stimulus package coming in from China. And number two is that inflation is going to goes little slow. That remind me that if you remember, we had predicted that India's retail inflation will be below 7, and I'm happy to inform you that it is below 7%. So this is the third month in a row where inflation has come down. We saw inflation very high in the month of April. In the month of May, it was lower than what it was there in April. In June, it was lower than what it was there in May. And July, it is lower than what it was there in June. And we do believe that this trend will continue even going forward. Coming back to Vedanta, so the point is that if the global economy is going to slow down, then it's very obvious that it is going to hurt the demand for the industrial metal. And that's where Vedanta will get a lot of pain in terms of their top line growth and the bottom line growth. So our IP suggests that this company is a hold. If you remember, it was a Mojo stock for a very significant portion, significant period of time, and we exited from Vedanta because we believe that Vedanta will underperform. We continue to believe that Vedanta will underperform, and hence we requesting you people to stay away. If you wish to park funds, please use and go and invest in Mojo stock. If you wish to create portfolio and model portfolio, now you have a golden opportunity, because we have for very limited period allowing in the package that we are offering today, which includes model portfolio. And I always request investors, instead of taking a call on the individual stock, you should take a portfolio approach, because a stock may do well, may not do well, but what matters to you is your overall portfolio. And if that is doing well, then it would be in a true sense a wealth creation from the equity market. So Vedanta is a hold. I would prefer to stay away.
This question by Mr. Ashwin. Dear sir, my portfolio appreciated more than 11% in 1.5 months. Now I want to add additional amount. Shall I wait for a correction or invest in the current market?
सर आप वेट करते रहोगे एंड होगा नहीं. सो आई गिव यू वेरी लाइव एग्जांपल. Every day I interact with our Mojo Infinity customers, because we have a review, and couple of investors, they thought that they can time the market, they are smarter than the market, and they did do a cash call, they did not invest in the market. They बेचते गए, नया कुछ लिया नहीं. And for the month of May and for the month of June, they thought they are extremely smart. Why? Because market kept on falling and they thought, see how smart I am, I did not park the funds. And June went, market went up, they thought ये तो चलेगा नहीं, नीचे आएगा. July चलेगा नहीं, नीचे आएगा. August, as we speak, चलेगा नहीं, नीचे आएगा, and they are still waiting for the market to correct. So see, anyway, you are not investing for 1 month. If you remember, when I did my equity outlook presentation on the 1st August, someone came with an analysis saying that, Sunil, in the month of August, historically, market has fallen. And I said, assume that what you are saying is right, for the argument's sake. Are you investing for 1 month? Answer is no. No one is investing for 1 month. And hence, one should not basically try to time the market. As I was explaining you, in next 30 years, India's market cap will go at 150x in dollar terms. We have gone on the record saying that the Sensex will touch by April 2027 1.25 lakhs and Nifty 37,000. 6 months here and there and 5% here and there. But that's what the kind of trajectory we are looking at for the Indian equity market. And remember, people do not appreciate the fact that, and it's human nature, to be skeptical. And I've seen, the more I meet more skeptical people, more I get convinced of the India's growth story. Why? Because bottom is always formed at the peak of the crisis. Bottom can never be formed at the peak of optimism. Am I right? So something similar. So when I talk to more people and they say, India में ये खराब है, India में वो खराब है, इसमें ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, and I strongly believe this is where we have a great opportunity. People don't understand the power of digital, the power of the digital wallet, the power of PLI, the production incentive link scheme, and it's a game changer. People, the defense exports. In fact, India would be among the top countries in next 5 years in terms of defense exports. People don't realize because they are not able to visualize beyond 1 week and 1 month, and hence we did too much try to time the market for 1 month or 3 months. My request to you, please, Ashwinji, go ahead and invest. You are anyway not investing for 1 week or 1 month. You are investing for long term, and I can tell you, and I can rest assured, you can jot down my words. The long-term outlook for Nifty and Sensex is extremely bullish, and you will remember my words, and hence please don't try to time the market. Please go ahead and invest. I'm happy that your portfolio is up by 11% in 1.5 months.
Okay. Also, Mood, I can see some confusion among investors. Like Mr. Lakam Raju says, he's an existing subscriber. You should actually extend the offer to him as well. Also, some of the investors are saying that if they extend from today, for today, and they have some plans ahead, how does the extension work exactly?
No, the extension is an add-on. It is, why do you think it is not applicable to you? Actually, it's applicable to all Mojo professional users. It is an add-on. If I have a 5-year membership, if I buy this particular membership, I get 2 years plus 6 months free. So it becomes a 7.5-year membership. If I have a 7-year membership and I buy this membership, it becomes 9.5 years. So if I have a 2-year membership and I buy this membership 3 times, so it adds on to this. So it just keeps adding on to your current membership, and your expiry period keeps getting larger and larger. So it is applicable to you, sir. It is applicable to all of you. I for that confusion, I think Jason, can you just give me the screen? Let me just share the offer again with you for all the benefit, all the members. So as I told you briefly through the whole initiative, that next week model portfolios are going paid at 2%. Plus, obviously, our big initiative that will come in this year is PMS and on the broking license side. All the benefits are linked to how long a member are you with Markets Mojo, because the broking is something that we are planning to launch at 0 only for Mojo professional users. This is only a service that we will be giving to Mojo professional users. And model portfolio next week will go paid at a 2% marker. Now, obviously, we are ready to launch this on Monday, Tuesday. So this is not something that, this offer is not something that will last for a month or something. So you have to be very careful if you want to give yourself time. It may just get missed out. So what we are doing here is, we had said that one last time in our full history, you will not see this again. And I commit to you that you will not see model portfolio again going back into Mojo Professional. For one last time, we are giving you a last chance to extend 19,999 for 2 years, 6 months free. If you remember, the lowest that we had gone was 19,999 and 3 months. This we are giving 19,999 with 6 months free, and we are adding the model portfolio and optimizer on this. Please make sure that this is not something that you're delaying for tomorrow, day after tomorrow, because we, as soon as we are ready with the pages that I showed you, we will launch that service, and automatically the day we launch that service, the model portfolio portion will go out from the Mojo Professional service. I hope that clarifies. This is a very, very limited time offer, and this offer is not available if you go on the site. It is only available to Mojo Professional users, existing users who are currently on this webinar.
Okay, I'll pick this question by Mr. Shine. About 20 years before, I heard that India will become second or third economy, but after 5 years, nothing still happened. It's still a developing country. As long as India has very poor people, it is impossible to beat US. US GDP is also 10 times more than India since last 20 years. What's the comment on that?
Yeah, so can I take this one?
Please, sir.
I want to take this one because I'll tell you something very funny. This was year 1994, yeah. I was, I joined MBA, and I was, in 6 months' time, I had no background of commerce or finance behind me. I was a science graduate. And when I went to some of my professors and I said that what subject should I choose? At that time, we used to have only 3 options in MBA. We used to have finance, marketing and HR. So when I said that what should I major on? I was told in 1994 the same thing that you're saying today, which I was told that if you look at the US, you have 40-45% of the retail investors investing money. In out of the total savings in China, it is around 25-27% going into equity markets. In Korea, we are around 12-13%, right? In India, we are around 2-3%. So, Mohit, I think the biggest scope for you is to go into finance, because in the next 20 years, this 3%, if it becomes 15-20%, will be as big as China. वो 30 साल almost होने को आ गए. So what you're saying is absolutely right, and I can tell you that I have gone through the same set of frustration that ये कब बढ़ेगा 3%, ये 4% कब बढ़ेगा, right? So, but if you know where I came at a risk of being a little or maybe very large optimistic. Normally Sunil is the optimistic guy out here, and I am the one who levels it, and I think some investors wrote also on the chat that Mohit is very optimistic today. But at the cost of me sounding optimistic, I told you that I, for the first time in 26-27 years since I graduated, I am seeing a big mega trend emerging. And I would like to be known in between at least my limited set of Mojo professional users that I predicted this before anybody else did in the market when you read about it or when actually the story unfolds. But I think a world order change is happening. And this number that you and me have been listening for the last 20 years is very fast going to change. This is, if you see the next 10 years, I would be completely surprised if what Sunil says doesn't come true. I would be completely surprised if in the next 4 to 5 years we are not hitting 1,26,000 on Sensex. I would be completely surprised if our major part of savings start going into equity markets. I would be thoroughly surprised if all of this doesn't happen. And I don't say a lot of things with this amount of conviction, but I can tell you that I'm in full mood to write a full-fledged article and throw across the press that we at Markets Mojo believe a new world order is emerging. Every single data point is indicating there. Every single data point is indicating there. And I'm not just talking about somebody who believes in data, but I'm also talking about what is happening on ground, what is happening across various other countries, because, you know, I do travel a lot, and you are looking at a sense, you can feel it sometimes, right? And as I said in the last webinar as well, is that मेरे को life में 3 या 4 बार ही feeling आया है. Not about this particular thing, but various other trends, and so far I have got 100% hit list on the smell that I get, but this is a very, very big smell that I'm getting. I hope I'm right for all of our sake, but I think the trend is emerging now.
One suggestion has come from Kiran Sonaji, and she is saying that please bring something to promote women investors. I think MM is something that can help to stay home mom in a big way to become financially independent. And I think it's a very good suggestion, Mohit. I think we need to definitely explore
Kiran,
this.
I have 2 sons who are, I'm traveling with them next week. They are going to the US to study. And my wife was talking to me the other day. In fact, she, please don't book the URL. But my wife was talking to me and said that now my aim, because my sons, you know, obviously our sons are now gone, is to launch Mahila Mojo, which is a full initiative for lady investors. And that is something that we are evaluating very seriously, Kiran. And maybe at a time, if you want to join us, you can. We will have a full-fledged business on that, hopefully. But I feel that the lighter version and more educative, go down and then start from there, is an initiative that we would love to bring about for lady investors. I told you, against the, maybe all the guys will not like me right now, but all the males will not like you, but I think women are psychologically much more stronger to invest in equity markets than men. आप लोगों को तो heart attack भी कम होता है. So, and we are holding ourselves, and always kabhi BP problem hai, kabhi heart attack problem hai. So, you know, all of that keeping aside, but I firmly believe that women investors will be a very big wave. And as I told you, this is a big coincidence, but, you know, my wife was talking about the same thing the other day.
A study which has been done which suggests that the value of the money is best understood by the woman, and they understand this. So, you know, if you there are certain tips that's available from your grandmother or mother, and if you see that how valuable those tips are in terms of financial planning or saving or investment, I think they are really worth. So I agree with you, and I think, Mohit, we need to have Mahila Mojo. That's what the word, am I right?
No, I can tell you, and you can look back at, I don't know how this happens in your house, but in my home, whenever I'm stressed and I say, oh, I don't know whether I'm going in the right direction, I think, you know, my wife is the biggest support who will say that, oh, what will happen? Don't worry. Whether you succeed or fail, you're doing something that you like doing, and you're doing something for the sake for what you started. So don't miss that option, and we will live in any condition but create a dream. So I think those kind of things, even from people like us who are in the financial services, you'll always have a P&L in your mind, your cash flow in your mind, and all this stuff. But I think the mental strength that comes in. So I completely agree, Kiranji, we must do something, and I can tell you that we will do something soon.
Okay, this question by Mr. Joseph. Dear Mohan and Sunil, today I created an aggressive model portfolio where I was expecting some large caps, mid caps, and also few small caps. But to my surprise, I got 9 large caps and 1 mid caps. Your views and comments on this?
Joseph ji, that's human emotions, कि large cap होना चाहिए, mid cap or small cap होना चाहिए, large cap. See, we follow our IP, and if our IP suggests these companies are the best bet as of today, we will suggest those companies in the aggressive portfolio or moderate or it's conservative. Having said that, it's not going to be the case that aggressive portfolio will always have more large cap and less of mid and small cap. As the time progresses, as the new data points comes in, we will reshuffle your portfolio, and based on that, the construct of the portfolio will undergo change. So don't jump to any conclusions, sir. Please follow our advice in a very disciplined manner. So I keep saying two things, and a lot of investors would have realized, and now they can relate to what I was saying in last couple of months. Two things to be a successful and wealthy investor: patience and discipline. If you have these two things, you can rest assured and jot down my word, you will never, the probability of going wrong when equity market reduces substantially. And this is, I'm saying, based on my personal experience, where I'm a very disciplined investor when it comes to investment, and also in terms of patience. I have a patience of, like, you can say, like very, very rock solid patience, nothing can basically disturb me.
Old monk.
Acha.
Okay. Yeah, I think you all have mentioned about startups. So Mr. Ganesh also said, any particular startup companies which are good to invest in?
Over to you, Mohit.
I personally don't track them so closely, and the data is very less available. And I frankly come from a little old school of thought. So I do not understand the valuation matrix of how these companies are valued on a future valuation, and I'm really bad at it. So because I don't understand how over 95% of the companies are valued the way they are valued on a future 5-year, 10-year first line of profit coming in. So Ganesh, I am really sorry, but I don't believe in that ecosystem itself. I personally believe that companies are made to resolve a problem for the investors and or for the target audience, and in that process, sooner or later they have to make money, otherwise their purpose will not be achieved. I'm yet to come across certain, maybe Nykaa is one example where they've created a great business. But otherwise, if I were to look at some other businesses like Zomato and they still are acquiring companies, and I don't know how they do this after posting loss after loss. So I think and typically I am a little at loss of words because ultimately when these kind of companies go IPO, the loss of all of this is taken by the retail investors. Because potential of growth is all valued into the IPO price, and then when you and me buy that IPO price, it's more like an offer to sell, and we take the Series A, Series B, Series C and Series D's valuation on us and carry it forward from there. So if you were to look at investing, I would say an angel investing right at the early stage, finding the right partners is a better approach than going through a Series A, Series B, or maybe through a private equity fund, because a private equity fund is again a diversified portfolio, which will typically, they are in that Series A to B to C game. But I think post Series C and D, it becomes very risky, and prior to that, it is very difficult to find out too early to get in. But I think lower amounts can be invested at that if you really like the revenue model, and more than the revenue model, always believe in the team, because none of the companies that today you have, like the mamas, when I say the mamas, I hope you guys know the meaning of the mamas, the Nasdaq,
the new word basically.
Yeah, Meta, Apple, your Alphabet, and one more M, right?
Yeah.
Which is
I'm just forgetting but you're right, Mohit.
Yeah,
Microsoft.
So when you look at the mama kind of companies, none of these companies were the first mover in their own way, right? Facebook was not the first social network. Google was not the first social engine. So it is all about implementation, and implementation depends a lot on the team. So believe in the team and the idea. Otherwise, invest through private equity funds is a better idea, I think, Ganesh.
Okay, also I can see a few of the investors have written that the market has recovered in the past few days, but some of the Infinity portfolios are still in negative. When can we expect a further uprise in the faster than the market here?
So many investors have wrote to us saying that they've seen a substantial improvement in their portfolio. Those who were in negative now have moved into positive. But having said that, there are certain portfolios continue to remain in losses. We are very hopeful they will bounce back. So some portfolios have been little early starter in terms of moving up. Some will. Eventually each and every portfolio will move up. And as we said time and again, we are very confident that each and every portfolio would be in profit in Mojo Infinity, and each and every portfolio would be outperforming the benchmark. Different investors have started portfolio at different point of time, and hence the construct is little different from the client A to client B. So in a short run, this kind of aberration will be there, and it going forward also will be there. But over a longer period of time, almost each and every portfolio should have very similar kind of returns. Why? Because certain investors would have certain kind of stock which must have participated in the rally. Some may not have participated as much as the other company would have participated. But they are eventually, every one company has to participate in the portfolio. I must give you also one more insights. Every day evening, I look at each and every stock that we are holding under Mojo Infinity. We also look at what is the maximum loss even a single investor is losing on that particular company, and in totality, what is the average purchase price of all our investors in that particular company, and what is the present value of that company, just to understand whether this company is continue to make sense in the portfolio or not. So we keep doing this exercise just to ensure that if we need to remove certain companies, we should remove that company, and where we need to book profit, we will book profit. So that's the thing. Just have patience, sir. It should outperform very soon.
So Jason, sorry, before we move forward, I forgot to mention one thing, that when the model portfolio will go under paid under Infinity next week, we'll also give the transaction facility out there, which is you will be able to transact with the 15 odd brokers online, and the updation of that will happen automatically in your model portfolio. So we are aligning the Infinity service to the model portfolio for that 2% charge, where you will be able to transact online and your portfolios will get automatically updated.
Okay, also before I move on to the next question, I can see a few of the investors saying, Jason, can you please save the link for us to use it later? I'm sorry, I won't be able to have any access to the links, and these are for limited period, so no request in asking me on that. I'll pick this question by Mr. Ulas. Mohit and Sunil, each from you one sector that could become a big game changer going forward. Also, if you could name a few stocks from each.
So I'm not an expert, so I'll pass it on to Mohit.
Yeah, multi-bagger portfolio में LG Balakrishnan still working, right?
Yeah, it's still working, yes.
Sir, we don't do single stock prediction, single stock sector prediction, because हम गलत हो जाएंगे, because our IP works faster than what we can think of. So I don't think so I'll be in a condition to give you what greenfield sectors we're talking about. Again, I think that consumer driven sectors will do extremely well, but I won't be able to pinpoint on any specific company.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Mohan, that's it with the Q&A session for today.
All right, thanks a lot. Jason, do send the offer. Some people may have missed out. Do send the offer on the email to them with my note. And please make sure that you would have extended enough. This is a long 10, 15, 20-year journey. Make sure that you are that long a member. This investment of 2 lakh, 3 lakh that you may do today is going to go for a long, long way. And I'm already assuming that you are extending it 5 times, 10 times. If you're not, I think you should seriously think about it. With that note, good night. Have a great weekend. It's not a weekend for us as yet. We are back tomorrow, and we'll be back shortly next week with the big launch and show you the product inside out, what we've done.
Yeah, thanks a lot everyone for attending today's event. We do have an event tomorrow on the Mojo Stock section, and we will be sending invites to all our Mojo Professional members. Looking forward to seeing you all. Goodbye and Good night.
Good night.